welcome back to Book Time. We are going to go over my favorite 5-star romances, and there's 5 of them, and we're going to go over them in 5 minutes. Let's see if we can do it. Coming in at number 1 is The Rom-Commers by Katherine Center. I absolutely loved this story. This is about Emma and Charlie. They are both script writers. She gets hired to help him write a rom-com. They are enemies to lovers, witty banter, hilarious, quirky characters, and the ending of this book was absolutely Oscar worthy. I can't say enough about this book. There are some heavier themes in the book, like sickness and a little bit of trauma, but it was such a beautiful story, and the way that she wrapped it all together in the end really has been one of my favorite endings to a story absolutely ever, and I loved it. Next book is The Heartless Hunter. This follows Rune and Gideon Sharp. He is the captain of the Blood Guard, and he is commissioned to go and find all of the witches in the city. And she is an undercover witch who has actually been rescuing other witches and acting kind of as a vigilante, and her name is Rune. And she has the most amazing backstory and personality, and I just love her. She kind of reminds me of Celaena Sardothien from Throne of Glass, and Gideon and her are also enemies to lovers. They have this back and forth of kind of like a cat and mouse situation, and it is such an amazing book. The ending was more epic as far as a romantasy book that I've read than any book I've read thus far, even Fourth Wing. It was such a great ending. I absolutely adore this book. You should go get it. The next book that was absolutely my favorite was Happy Place. This follows Harriet and Wyn in their epic retelling of their love story. So they are currently both in forced proximity situations because they are on a weekend getaway for their best friend's wedding, and they are all staying in the same summer house that they've been going to for many years, but they're not together anymore, and they haven't told anyone, so they're faking that they're still together. And all of the rich themes that come up in this book, I mean, divorce, rejection, depression, just so many things. I mean, the book is a little bit misleading, the title. It's called Happy Place, but it's actually more of almost like a romance psychology read of how people can transition and go into different seasons where maybe their love story wasn't actually meant for this season, but meant for a different season in their life. I just found the story to be so redemptive because they end up making it work in the end, and all of the things that tore them apart, they ended up finding out how to fix it while they were apart. And so when they come back together and they reunite, it is just the most beautiful ending to a story ever, and I absolutely adored it. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about one of my favorite romanticities of all time, which is Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing got me back into reading. I absolutely loved the story between Violet Serengel and Xaden. Xaden and Violet are your classic enemies to lovers trope. They are on opposite ends of the spectrum as far as like family, history, experiences, what they've gone through, and they're kind of like known rivals, and they're also like out for blood, you think, from the beginning, because they have like a revenge story going on. Like he's trying to get back at her for something her family supposedly did to his family. So from the very beginning, you're just like, what is gonna happen? But they end up getting together, working together, and being like an amazing dynamic team. They're both stubborn, they're both headstrong, they both have telepathic ways that they can talk to each other, a telepathic bond. Their dragons bond too. So it's like they all have these forced proximity things that's making them kind of work it out, and they end up finding the most beautiful, incredible relationship, and I just love it. I saved the best for last, and this is my Oxford year. This book shattered my soul, but it was such a beautiful love story. This follows Ella, who got the Rhodes Scholarship and is in Oxford University for a year, and she is going to be meeting this incredible interim professor named Jamie, who has kind of a womanizing past, but he is also going through a huge trauma that will unfold, and their relationship will be put to the ultimate test. The psychological strain in this book, and you're rooting for them, but you also don't know how it's going to be because you think, should she stay with him because of this, and should he expect this of her? But What I loved about this story is it shows how a relationship can thrive under pressure and how a relationship can be beautiful in the middle of the darkest seasons imaginable. This book follows someone who has a very serious illness and the dedication, loyalty, and love required to see a type of relationship like that through. And it is just absolutely breathtaking. So those are my 5 favorite 5-star romances, and also these are my most anticipated romance books that I have yet to read that I know are going to be amazing. Rebecca Searle is one of my favorite authors, and this book is When You Were Mine. The next one is by Allison Saft, A Fragile Enchantment, and I cannot wait to see if these love stories are as epic as the ones I've read. See you guys back next time. Bye-bye.